My name's Adam, and I'm an artist out of northern Wisconsin. Today, we're going to be talking about stroke length, needle throw, and then it's going to come all the way full circle, and I'm going to tell you guys how it affects your hand speed. This video is a part of my advanced tattoo machine knowledge video series here on YouTube. Understanding these three subjects that we're going to talk about in this video can help you guys decide on what tattoo machine you're going to buy, and then it can also affect the outcome of your tattoos. And let's start with talking about stroke length. A lot of us like to think of it as the shorter the stroke length is, the softer your tattoo machine is going to hit, and then the longer your stroke length is, the harder your tattoo machine is going to be hitting. Now, this is somewhat true, but not technically true. Let me explain. Stroke length is the distance that your needle travels from the inside of your needle cartridge out to the surface of the skin. So let me give you an example. If you have a 4.0 stroke tattoo machine, that needle inside that tattoo machine, that needle is traveling from the inside to the outside. The travel distance that needle is going would be 4 millimeters long. This isn't rocket science, guys. Make sure you're following along. Having a lower stroke length on your tattoo machine is going to pick up less ink. And the reason why that is because the stroke length is shorter. So your needle is going into the cartridge an even shorter distance, picking up less ink. And then the longer the stroke length is going to make your needle go into your cartridge further, in return picking up more ink. Tattoo machine manufacturers, when they make a tattoo machine specifically for black and gray wash or for permanent makeup, they typically make those machines at a 3.2 stroke or less. The reason why you would want the lower stroke machine for gray wash or permanent makeup is, like I said, it picks up less ink and puts it in the skin slower, giving you more time to do your blends, and it's softer on the skin. And then you'll see like 95% of all tattoo machines on the market are between 3.5 stroke length and 4.2 stroke length. These stroke lengths are what I call the golden ratio. These stroke lengths are the perfect length to do line work, black and gray, and color. It's perfect for most things. And then any stroke length above a 4.2, there's a lot of common ones at 4.5, or there's even some right now that are going all the way up to 5 millimeter stroke length. These tattoo machines are specifically for using large needle groupings or packing lots of color, like the very large Japanese back pieces where the lines are like friggin' like that thick and there's like no color blending, just solid colors. That's what those large stroke lengths are for. Now, if anyone has any questions about stroke length, make sure you guys leave them down in the comments. But now we're going to be talking about needle throw, because stroke length and needle throw are two different things. Simply put, what needle throw is the distance you stick your needle out of your cartridge. It seems dumb for me to have to say this, but some people don't know it until they're told. But changing the throw of your needle does not change the stroke length of your tattoo machine. On a 4.0 stroke tattoo machine, even if you stick your needle out 5 millimeters, the distance that needle is going to travel will still be 4 millimeters. If you guys take the US currency of a nickel and you take that nickel and you put it on its side, the thickness of that nickel is about how far I throw my needle out. And on Google right here, it says a nickel is about 1.95 millimeters thick. Now, where some of you guys might be messing up is that you'll have a super short stroke length tattoo machine, like a 3.2 stroke machine, but then you'll be sticking your needle out way too far. So the needle is coming in, picking up almost hardly any ink. So it's hitting the skin dry, causing lots of redness and trauma to the skin. When tattooing, it's important to throw your needle out at just the perfect spot to where you're picking up ink, putting it into the skin in the most efficient way, but not sticking it out too much to where you guys are causing trauma. Obviously, if you're a brand new artist listening to me right now, obviously listen to your teacher. Do not just listen to me. Don't listen to anyone on the internet about advice. Obviously, your teacher knows you, so go to them, tell them what I told you, and they'll give you advice on where to take it. Now let's talk about hand speed, and I'm going to use some of the terminology that's in my previous advanced knowledge video. So if you guys have not checked that out yet, You guys might want to go over there and check that out first before we talk about hand speed. The voltage of your tattoo machine with your hand speed in conjunction with the stroke length of your tattoo machine and the throw of your needle need to be in the perfect sweet spot so you guys do not cause extensive trauma to the skin. And that sweet spot is different for everyone. The higher stroke length your tattoo machine is, the more punchy it's gonna feel at lower voltages. The longer the stroke length you have in your tattoo machine, the more time it's gonna take for that needle to go into the cartridge and back to the skin, making it very punchy feeling. And then a shorter stroke length is going to feel less punchy because that needle is going in for a less amount of time and it's quickly getting back to the skin, making it less punchy. That punchiness from your tattoo machine is another thing that's causing a lot of trauma. This is one of those things that's going to sound really bad when I say it out loud, but the experienced tattoo artists at home that understands their machine and they can feel the difference with it, they're going to understand what I'm going to try to say right now. What you're supposed to do if your tattoo machine is a little punchy, what you're supposed to do, and it sounds bad, that what I'm going to tell you, but what you want to do is take your machine that feels punchy and you actually want to turn it up in voltage to increase the speed. Now that's going to seem like it's going to wreck the skin, but what it's actually going to do is it's going to remove that delay that you're getting from the needle going inside to the skin. That delay is going to be removed by speeding up your machine, by either speeding up the machine or actually slowing down your hand speed. It's a lot easier to stay at the same hand speed, but to turn up your machine rather than going slower with your hand. Now with shorter stroke lengths, it's a little different. A shorter stroke length needle actually goes faster at that voltage because it has less distance it has to travel. So a short stroke length at 7 volts is going actually faster than a long stroke length on that same machine at 7 volts. So what you want to do with a short stroke length machine to avoid trauma, to avoid blending the skin, what you want to do is actually turn the voltage down. This is why we'll see a lot of short stroke length artists, they're running more around 7 volts, 6 volts, 5 volts. They're running lower so their machine isn't just tearing up the skin. And then if you're using a shorter stroke length machine but you don't want to turn the voltage down so much, it helps a lot if you go a little quicker with your hand movements. So let me just give us a recap on that real quick. So shorter stroke lengths, you want lower voltages but quicker hand speed. And then higher stroke lengths like 4.0 millimeter stroke length, 4.5 millimeter stroke length, you want to turn your voltage up a little bit to remove the punchiness from it. And then you want to have like a medium hand speed. I'm scared telling you guys to turn up your voltage. What I'm trying to say, like the highest voltage I ever use is around 9 volts on a tattoo machine to 100 to 120 hertz if you want to think of it in hertz. Obviously, that last 2 minutes of this video here is a lot of my own opinions on it and how I like to think of it in like a scientific way. Obviously, there is no set standard when it comes to this stuff. We are doing artwork, we're doing lots of different styles, and we might want that punchiness in our tattoo machine to do like stipple work or to do some kind of texture work. You might want that effect. If you guys made it this far in the video and you do not know what stroke length you like yet, or what voltage and all that stuff you like your machine running at to kind of eliminate the punchiness or to feel good in your hands, I would highly suggest you guys pick up the Axis Valhalla if you're like a newer artist, just because there is 5 different stroke lengths you could switch to on this machine. I got this from Kingpin Tattoo Supplies. There will be a link down in the description. You guys can get this tattoo machine and it's actually very good, mostly for a new artist. To save you guys from commenting down below asking what I'm using, what I'm actually using currently for my tattoo machine, I am using the Axis M1, and then I am using the 4.1 stroke on it. And this doesn't like show voltage or anything, so I gotta tell you guys the hertz. I am running this at 100 hertz to around 120 hertz, which is probably equivalent to like 8.59 volts. And this tattoo machine actually has an e-give type of mode to it, and I'm going to explain more of what the e-give mode is in the next advanced knowledge video.